We are living today in a world in which there is more fasad. Be careful of that word, because fasad is in the Quran. Fasad is of different kinds. Fasad is that which corrupts and destroys. And there is, the Quran speaks of agricultural fasad, corrupting food, destruction of food. The Quran speaks of sexual fasad, Sodom and Gomorrah. The Quran speaks of many different kinds of fasad. Perhaps the most dangerous one of all is fasad in money. Yes. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam spoke about riba. And one form of riba is borrowing and lending money on interest, money. And so the money lender was cursed by Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. He cursed all four, and he said they're all equally guilty. The one who takes riba, the one who gives riba, the one who records the transaction, and the two witnesses. And the very last revelation to come down in the Quran was one in which Allah declared war on the moneylender. فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. And Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam waging war on the moneylender. But the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam prophesied that the time will come when you will not be able to find even one person, not one, in all of mankind, who will not be consuming riba. And if anyone were to claim that he is not consuming riba, verily the dust of riba would be upon him. Verily the vapor of riba would reach him. Are we not living today in a world in which the money lender controls the economy? It is called the bank. Is there not riba all around us today? And therefore the curse of Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam all around. What more evidence do we need that this is Akhirul Zaman? But there is another form of riba. If you meet a man coming to the market, and you'll get all of these ahadith in my book on the back entitled The Prohibition of Riba in the Quran and Sunnah. It's also on my website. If you meet a man coming to the market to sell his goods, truckload of durian, and you buy his durian, I don't think people in France will know what is durian, the Pakistanis won't know what is durian, but in Southeast Asia it's called the king of all fruits. It's a fruit. And you buy his durians from him before he could enter into the market. And when he enters the market, he realizes he could have gotten a better price in the market. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said, that's riba. The Americans have a pretty phrase to describe it. The Americans say, you ripped him off. A transaction based on deception, through which you get a gain or a profit to which you are not justly entitled. A rip-off. Today we have abandoned the Quran. Whether you are Sufi or whether you are Salafi, it makes no difference. We have abandoned the Sunnah. Whether you are Sufi or whether you are Salafi, it makes no difference. So you better listen to your brother Imran. And we have accepted that the enemy could make haram what Allah made halal, and that is shirk. Allah made the dinar halal. Allah made the dirham halal. It is in the Quran. Both the Sufi and the Salafi better go to the Quran and find it. And today the International Monetary Fund has made it haram. Dr. Mahathir didn't know that. He was surprised to find that the Articles of Agreement of the International Monetary Fund, the Zionist International Monetary Fund, prohibit the use of gold as money. And all the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, whether you're Sufi or whether you're Salafi, it made no difference. We all accepted that they could make haram what Allah made halal. And we are stuck with the paper. And the paper is haram, haram, haram. Which Sufi scholar has declared it is haram? You can probably count with your fingers how many there are. Which Salafi scholar has declared it is haram? You could probably count with your fingers of one hand, if there are any. I hope that there are some, inshallah, but I may not have heard about them. This is riba. As the paper money falls in value, you are ripped off. Wait until the US dollar collapses and you see what's going to happen in the world. And so here is evidence, startling evidence, that there is fasad in the economy. Not just agricultural fasad with genetically modified food, not just electronic fasad with the radiation from cell phones damaging the male chromosomes so that tomorrow no baby boy is going to be born. And so the prophecy will be fulfilled that one man would have to maintain 50 women. That's Akhiru Zaman. Not just political fasad, and I wish I had the time to explain the political fasad, but fasad in the economy as well. Fasad everywhere you turn. What is it that explains this universal fasad? The Quran tells us, Inna Ya'juja wa Ma'juja mufsiduna fil ard. That Gog and Magog are PhDs in fasad. And when Allah releases them, Hatta idha futihat Ya'juj wa Ma'juj وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. They're going to spread in all directions. And they will bring universal fasad to the world. And so I have spent half an hour, which is too much time. I should not have spent so much time, providing the evidence. And there is so much more, that we are living in Akhirul Zaman. And this is the time, this is the age of the greatest fitna that mankind will experience from the time of Adam alayhi salam to the last day. And so this is the time for us to be closing our ranks, to be living as a brotherhood with love for each other, to be building our power, internal power and external power. And it is time to end this warfare